Mirage is living in a game that wants him to fail. We have a legend with a nearly useless tactical that provides no movement, no damage, and worse intel than a scan, an ult that is marginally better than his tactical but suffers from the same problems and has no real effect in higher level team fights, and a passive serving as Mirage's only support tool that is outcompeted by every other legend in his class. Mirage doesn't really have any impact. His kit can barely support himself or cause the necessary pressure to grant himself an opening. All of this said, that doesn't mean there's no hope for Mirage. I believe there is a way to maintain his identity as a trickster, define him more clearly within his support role, and allow him to be more meta relevant without disrupting the game's core principles. But to explain this idea thoroughly, let's take a second to talk about supports in Apex. In my opinion, there are currently 3 subdivisions in the support class. You have the tank supports, which are capable of limited area protection and forcing a res mid-fight, the combat supports that allow teams to have more time fighting and less time healing, and lastly we have the selfish support, which is more concerned with self-sufficiency that the team coincidentally benefits from. Instead of being a pseudo-combat support, I believe that this last subdivision is where Mirage's identity needs to be more clearly defined. First, I would slightly alter Mirage's tactical to be more of a selfish tool. Instead of revealing the opponent to his team when a decoy is shot, Mirage will now go invisible for 2.5 seconds. Shooting or healing, however, will uncloak Mirage early. With this change, there are more impactful consequences for mindlessly shooting Mirage's decoys. If a decoy is shot, Mirage can now use that as an opportunity to reposition and potentially catch an enemy off guard. This in turn makes players more hesitant to shoot a decoy, which allows the mind game of, is this Mirage or is this a decoy, to play out more consistently. Secondly, I would completely overhaul Mirage's ultimate. Mirage's new ultimate would be called ASAKUSA. Anyways, it would function as follows. Mirage sends out a special decoy that he can swap places with at will. This ultimate functions like Vantage or Rampart's ult, in which Mirage has 4 special decoys on subdivided cooldowns. Each of these clones would have 100 health and take longer to despawn than normal clones. For the sake of balance, there are a few restrictions with this ultimate. First, these clones do not trigger Mirage's tactical effect of granting him invisibility. Second, there is a distance limitation on these clones that would immediately despawn them when exceeded. Third, only a maximum of 2 of these clones can be spawned at a time, and each clone can only be swapped with twice. Fourth, swaps will cause a loud sound cue, both from where the real Mirage starts and where the real Mirage ends. Lastly, there is a semi-short cooldown, around 7 seconds, before another swap can be performed after a swap occurs. Visually, there is no difference between these clones and Mirage's normal clones. This new ultimate would radically raise Mirage's ability to create openings for himself and his team, distract opponents, grant him a movement tool, and generally increases Mirage's impact in a fight without throwing the game's readability into disarray. It would also have a nice synergy with Mirage's tactical and further compound the dangers of allowing a clone to exist and the danger of shooting a clone, creating an endless loop of mind games. Finally, I would adjust Mirage's legend upgrades in accordance with these changes. Specifically, I would revise the level 2 upgrade, Miracle Worker, to a new upgrade called Now I See You. When a decoy is shot, the enemy who damaged it is tracked with a marker for 3.5 seconds. Shifting Mirage's old tactical effect into the upgrade section, alongside the rest of Mirage's existing upgrades, creates a more cohesive identity for Mirage as a selfish support that the team profits from when he perfects his shenanigans. And there you have it, a full breakdown on what could be Mirage's strongest iteration yet. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.